time to take a red pill to make this our world. Gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill.
You cannot stop me, I'ma make it to the top spicy. Call a covenant, not cocky, you cannot break me. This world's mine for the taking. Got an itch, man, I'm making. Oh, I'll keep my head down and grind and be patient. I'll take a stab at the top and the sailing. They can all try, but you cannot contain it. Cause I see the things that I want and I take on my goal. Push myself to the brink, no limit. Do what it takes to be free, committed. I'm a little obsessed with things, I'll admit it. But that's what it takes to get a freedom ticket. Got a killer instinct and it's just the beginning. Breaking down walls and the hurt start thinning. And the more you push it, the fast start trimming. Till you're the only one standing up straight, winning all.
No, we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill to make this our world. Gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill. We never give.
You know, when you called me over, I was arranging my WWF action figures, right?
Yeah, from what, alphabetical order?
No, well, alphabetical order and like chronological.
Okay, they get dusty, right? They get dusty.
Yeah,
So
but when you told me we were going to get this, you've got a lot of good guys. When you told me we were going to get this WWE superstar from before the Attitude Era, don't go messing with the country, but Hillbilly Jim, and then Uncle Elmer, and they don't go messing with the country boy. I love that. You know that won a Slammy Award back in like 1980 something. Slammy Award, yeah.
Who said we got Hillbilly Jim?
You said, "Come on over, we got Hillbilly," and I'm like,
"What, we got Killbilly Nathan Mowery over here."
Wait! Are you talking about Nathan Killbilly, the film director, the filmmaker,
yeah,
the deathmatch wrestler?
That's him.
The Southern Gentleman?
Yeah, that's him. He's
visual death artist?
That's him. The one and only.
The Firebug.
The Arsenal, yeah.
The Firebug from Georgia, huh?
That's him.
Is that him?
Nathan, thank you for being on with us today.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
I got this sudden urge. I don't know what it is.
Oh, what? I don't know. Fire alarm's going to go away.
What? No, I don't know.
Go away, Mike.
Something's come over me. I don't know.
What's going on, Mike?
I don't know.
First, we're trying to sabotage. Oh, my God.
What are you doing? Here, let me set you on fire. I'll put you out.
Maybe after.
No, all you gotta do is roll down and you'll get out.
Maybe after the interview.
Come on, we gotta impress the guy.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, we come on, Mike. He tries to sabotage me for the show last time. Now he's trying to set the house.
I don't know. I got all these matches. I got to do something with it. No.
After the interview, you got to.
We're the lighter. Can I use play with the lighter? No. Well, let me.
We're gonna do the interview.
He won't let me have any fun. I'm gonna go down to Georgia. We'll be setting fires all over the place.
Killbilly,
there you go.
Being on with us tonight. How's everything going over there?
Things are going good, man. Just editing and just hanging out. Just excited to just have a good night and hang out.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for being on with us. So the question I always start off with everyone, man, what was your first introduction into pro wrestling?
Man, well, growing up in the South, it was a pretty popular thing. And so I just kind of heard about it, but I never really got fully into it. I had like family members who were into it, but I kind of got into it a little bit later than a lot of people. I got into it when I was like 14. It was about like 2005. So I remember just watching Spike TV randomly and seeing Matt Hardy and Edge, and Matt Hardy did the side effect off the stage through all the electrical equipment. And my like 14-year-old brain was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And then I've just been obsessed since then.
That was definitely that was definitely a shocking angle they did. I think that the everything exploding, wires were going crazy. You remember that, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I always liked wrestling. I liked it since I was a very young kid. I saw just all the old ones. I don't know if you're familiar. The Philadelphia. We were in the WWF area up here, but we would watch the Georgia wrestling. But you kind of caught on. Like if you've discovered wrestling, I'm older than you, but if you discovered it in like 2006, that was like later. But that's good. That's okay. I mean, generations, different generations.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
it was one of those things where, and I've just like as soon as I got into it, I went and just explored all the old stuff, and I'm a fan of wrestling from all eras. So.
Oh, okay. Georgia's got a rich history of NWA and the territories and stuff like that. Yeah.
No, absolutely. How far are you away from the Georgia Dome?
Well, the Georgia Dome, I think, was demolished about like I think 3 or 4 years ago, but it was probably about 30, 40 minutes from where I'm at right now.
Marietta was a stop on the territories.
Okay.
That the Georgia territory. Yeah. But so I did a lot of research on you, know a lot about you. It seems as though you started out the in stunts and backyard antics and things like that before wrestling as a teenager, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like growing up, I was just a huge fan of like Jackass, and I was a big fan of once I started getting into wrestling, I ended up discovering like FMW and CZW and stuff like that.
Oh,
And got obsessed with like Signic Mondo and John Zandig, and I always make and it was one of those things where Steve-O and John Zandig were a terrible influence on me as a kid, and so I just loved doing. I just did a bunch of stunts, lit myself on fire, just hit my brothers with tubes, getting knocked out by a four wheeler. Lighting my crotch on fire. Just stuff. All sorts of things.
So it's funny. It's funny that a guy named Luke Hadley, DVLH.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's funny that I know all these guys. I met him like 20 years ago to Gather Juggalos. He's one of the forefathers of the pranks and the videos and doing crazy stunts. Then J.J. Allen, and now Killbilly. Killbilly is known for these outrageous stunts, and I love that. The funny thing about it, Jackass, I don't go to the movies that much. The only movies I will see when they're in theaters is Jackass and Borat. That's it.
That's it.
Everything else I'll watch.
I'll wait till
it's on HBO or something. But those two, I got to be there.
Right? Oh, absolutely. Yes, I think the Jackass movie should have swept the Oscars. So I think, obviously, huge fans of those. I'm always trying to watch those.
Right.
Now, you said Zandig was a big influence in your life early on. What was your first time seeing him?
It was definitely Tournament of Death 2, him and with Mondo and everything going off the roof. So that was just like crazy for me. Just being like a teenager and seeing that was just the wildest thing ever. And like
I was there.
You were there? I was there. Oh my God, that's awesome.
You don't kind of know our history. Like I've been going to CZW since 1999.
Whoa, that rules.
I'm not bragging, but if you want to know that, I've been at every TOD, every Best of the Best, all the Cage of Deaths except one. And where we live, Smyrna, Delaware, not Georgia, is where they had all the TODs and the Jun Kasai, Stretched in Smyrna, all those things.
Dang, that's awesome. I love that.
We did a documentary. I did a documentary with Luke Hadley about, I don't know how many years ago, in the history of CZW in Delaware. And we went to all the venues and we measured the bump where Zandig was at with Nando. Jeez. It's got about 30,000 views. Check it out. If you like that stuff, you'd like it. But he lives we're both in Smyrna. I'm a quarter mile from Breakaway Tavern, where Sexy Eddie squirted blood.
Damn, that's awesome. Yeah. So you're just on all these iconic spots.
Yeah, we were all you named the big show we were at. I was there before him, but he caught in like early 2000s as a kid. He grew up a couple blocks from the ECW arena.
Damn, that's awesome.
So we've been around all that. We knew Mondo. So when I saw that you're directing, I instantly thought this guy would get along great with Nick Mondo.
Oh, for sure.
Because they're both into the same stuff.
Dude, so I actually worked with him for a little bit. So a little kind of like story. So for the past like 10 years, I've been working for Diamond Dallas Page. I do videos for him and his fitness company, DDP Yoga. And for like the first 2 years of AEW, Dallas, because he's friends with Cody, we ended up doing a lot of production for AEW. And we ended up hiring like Nick Mondo while we were doing AEW videos. And I remember just one day being at the office at DDP Yoga, just on my computer, and Dallas being like, "Hey, this is our new editor and camera guy, Matt Burns." And everyone's like, "Oh, hey!" I turn around and I'm just like, "Oh my god, it's Nick Mondo!" And I'm just like, "Holy shit, yeah!" But yeah, and he was just, it was really awesome because then I got to like make videos with him and like, ask him a bunch of questions and stuff. So he ended up being like really good friends. Then so we started, being on the road together for AEW and stuff. So that was really cool.
Yeah, I ran into him at the Philly show one time. I think, or either Baltimore or Philly. I think the Baltimore pay-per-view when they Kenny Omega and Moxley went all over the place. I think he was there.
Yeah.
He was walking around. I'm like, hey,
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we were always like me and Mondo and like a few other people, we would just be on the floor with cameras getting kind of the slow motion shots for video packages. So we were definitely doing that. So we were there for sure for the Kenny and Mox stuff.
What did he say about he mostly wrestled in CZW and Big Japan. What did he have to say about his career? Sometimes he's a little,
I mean, if you, I'm sure you've seen like his movie The Trade and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So I think like he definitely, I don't know. I think it might be a thing where he kind of has mixed feelings about it, but I think yeah. So he's definitely, he's definitely not interested in ever like, doing that or anything again. And now he's found like a really cool place in the stunt world. So now he's like a stunt man for like movies and things like that. So he's been, crushing in that world. So, but he's always, and so like after seeing like that movie, I was like a little hesitant to ask him about stuff, but he was super warm and he was really cool about me talking about whatever. He was just a really awesome dude. He's really easy to talk to. He
was, and sometimes he'd come to like GCW things like that, and you remembered him too. Yeah, we saw him. Very, very special guy in the ring. Like it's hard to, you got certain guys, White Beaters, Nick Mondo is a legend in that period of time he wrestled. So I feel bad for you guys that like these guys and you didn't get to experience them live.
I know that would have been amazing.
It's hard to explain, and you can't put it in words if you're not there.
No, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like looking up to the where they were off there. I'm like, oh my God, the thing's on fire. It's hard to explain. We've seen a lot, but it's good that you do what you can. Yeah. Different era. Just a different era.
Oh yeah. I love like watching this old school CZW stuff, but yeah, that tournament, like that second tournament death and like the first one where Mondo got hit with the weed whacker, I remember that just blowing my mind as a teenager, thinking that was the coolest thing ever.
Probably 20 feet from that. Look, I can remember this day, blood squirting out, like flickering off him. Yeah, that was a great thing. That was a great thing. See, Delaware started. If you like CZW, and I know you like documentaries, watch the history of CZW in Delaware. You will like it. I know you'll like it.
Yeah.
No, definitely. DVLH, Luke Hadley's thing.
Yeah, I can say that.
Yeah, if you just put history his CZW in Delaware, you'll know it's very documentary.
It's a good a lot of history, a lot of deathmatch history here in Delaware. Just a few miles from here where we're at right now.
Yeah, I'm not blowing my horn, but since you like CZW and Zandig, I'm talking about the whole thing about how it happened and stuff like that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. I love those kind of things, so I'll definitely watch.
You seen the dinner? You seen the dinner we did with him?
Oh yeah,
we were there. That was funny.
Yeah,
He King Diner, man. Everybody knows that thing. We put that place on the map.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw like all the like just clips of it on Twitter and everything. It looked like a fun time.
It was fun.
No, for sure it was. What made you start? What got you into doing stunts?
I think for me it was just like just growing up being just a big fan of Jackass and just kind of being in that generation. And I just kind of had a camera and I was, I grew up in East Tennessee where there was just like a lot of woods and not like a whole lot to do. I was also a homeschooled kid. So I didn't have like, I just had a lot of time and a lot of area to do stuff. So I would just set up my camera and film stunts and prank my brothers and family. And yeah, my little small group just, did stunts that were influenced by, Jackass and deathmatch wrestling. And I guess it just never grew out of it.
The availability of a camera really, I think, increased stunts, because you wouldn't have done these things in front of nobody in your field by yourself with two people. But when you get it on video, you're like, now millions or hundreds of people can watch it. And then there's I'm going to try to go viral. There's like a goal. So it changed the world completely with stunts, because you never would see anybody jump off a roof or anything like that. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was just doing that stuff like all the time. That's the cool thing about like JJ Allen, for instance. Like, I've known him since probably we were like late teenagers and stuff, because we like found out there was a whole underground community of people doing this thing. So we've been friends for like a good while, since before we were wrestlers.
Okay. Yeah. I was at that POR show, the I Quit match out there in Timberville last year.
Oh, nice. The one where I got blown up in a camper.
Oh yeah, I was right. I was 10 feet from that too. Yeah, when that camper was on fire and he was in there and they had trouble getting it. Yeah, that was one of the best shows I've ever seen. Man, that thing, everybody went nuts. Yeah, I've been to a couple PR. He's coming next time. We're ready for PR. Big fan of that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah, I love PR. It's just crazy out there. Just literally anything can happen. Yeah, you're gonna have a good time when you come out. It's literally the craziest show on earth. It is freaky.
They don't charge you. Bring your own beer. Urinate anywhere you feel like.
Anything kind of goes.
Anything goes. Yeah. It's like a wrestling gathering at a Juggalos.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, no rules. It's awesome.
Yes. What was the first stunt you could you did? You ever performed on camera?
I'm trying to think. Across the street from the house I grew up in, there was like an old barn loft, and it was probably about, I don't know, maybe like 8 to 9 feet tall. And so me and my buddy would try to like work up the nerve to see if we could do a front flip out of it onto just a bunch of hay. And so that was like the first stunts we did as kids, was just doing flips, pretending like we're Jeff Hardy jumping off this barn loft into hay. And so then we would find like old pieces of wood and make makeshift tables and start going through all, makeshift tables. And then the jumps just got higher. And then, we just kept doing that.
Yeah. I saw your compilation, and some of them don't look like they were very well thought out. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like the green bucket off the roof.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one didn't go well.
Well, how was it? I was asking. We were talking to JJ the other day. How is that supposed to go? Like, I mean, are you thinking like, all right, I'm going to slide off, then land flat and hit a little bit, and then slide? You know what I mean? The physics of that geometry wasn't there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes, like, when a stunt goes bad, it goes better. And so I think it was there was like a tiny, sliver of a chance that I would land and roll and it would be okay. But I also knew that there was a bigger chance of me just absolutely eating shit and having a funny clip I can, laugh at and look back at. So, and then unfortunately the latter happened, and I just absolutely just landed on my face, and it was hilarious. So.
Oh man, dude, it was brutal. It's brutal. And then you know what else they did? He tied a rope to his legs, and then his partner there had it tied to a car, and they took off. What? Instant knockout. Oh, like instant. I mean, what about that?
Yeah.
That didn't. Huh?
It was So that's my younger brother, and so I tied my foot to a back four-wheeler, and I was like, hey, just like go by and I'll just kind of jump. And then when I jumped, it just yanked me and I hit my head and I completely got knocked out. And you can see in the video, it's on my YouTube channel, of me just dragging like on the ground. Because I remember just waiting there, and then I remember waking up on the front porch being like, oh man, what happened? And
how far did he drag you? Because I didn't see the whole they didn't show the whole thing. How far did he drag you?
Probably another, like, I'd say probably good like 10 feet or so, like off the camera in the grass. But it's hard to tell because I was knocked down. It wasn't on camera. That's just me guessing.
See, it was an automatic. See, he didn't realize that once that rope pulled, you go down. Even if people just physically pull it like that, he's going to go down.
Oh yeah,
5 miles an hour in a car is like a lot, man.
Yeah.
And the physics. And then what else? There was another one that he did. The mankind jump off the roof there that landed on your tailbone.
Which like off the off like the shed onto like the yeah. So that was funny. So like I remember it was like right before I left for like church camp, and like I was just bored, and so I had like an hour to kill, and I had these light tubes after I was watching some CZW best of montages on YouTube.
Okay.
And then I lit myself on fire, jumped off this shed, and went through a bunch of glass, and it cut me. And just I remember just going back, getting ready, and just going to church camp. But I threw my pants and just in my room, and my mom found it and was just like, "Why do you have all these like bloody pants and stuff in here?" It was really confusing. But yeah, so that was fun. Played with glass a lot and grew up. Yeah, and I grew up next to like.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. What?
Oh, sorry. I was saying. I grew up. My great grandfather had a sawmill like right next to our house, so it was just an abandoned sawmill with all this wood and stuff that we would play and jump off on and wrestle with.
Oh man, that's
crazy stuff.
That is great. No, but the bump off that, like it was just he jumped off a roof, a good 15 feet, and landed on. He only had a board there. You only had like a board, right? Like a door.
It was just a board.
Yeah, you need 2 tables for a bump like that. You can't. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it was something else, man. And your mom didn't care. She knew you were doing that stuff.
Oh yeah, she she knew that me and my brothers were out just in the woods, just goofing off and just being goofy boys. But she was just like, yeah, just don't get hurt or don't bleed too bad. Just like have fun. But she knew that we were having goofing off or whatever.
Oh man,
she didn't mind too much. But
you guys didn't get kicked out of Christian camp?
No.
I mean, I would have figured they're like open season. Look, you got to camp and found you had to get into stuff, right?
Yeah, it's funny. I was a pretty well-behaved kid, so it was just I was more like just into doing crazy stuff. I was just had that high energy and wanted to jump off of things. So
yeah.
Yeah. So when did the fire start?
Fire was awesome. So yeah, I just remember seeing some kids playing with aerosol spray and creating fire with that, and then I was just playing with so many different types of spray, and then I found like a particular type of cleaner that creates a really good surface flame that does kind of just burns above the pants before it actually gets to like the jeans and stuff. So you have a pretty good amount of time just to be on fire before anything serious happens. So I've been doing that trick since I was like 15 or 16, and I'm like 31 now, and I've probably been on fire 200, 300 times, countless times, and I've never gotten burned with that, which has been crazy. Knock on wood.
But some of your guys in the stunts, the fire didn't go out that quick. I've seen some of them pad it out real fast, but I've seen some like you guys have to save the guy.
Yes. Okay. So anytime I put myself on fire, it's been good. Anytime other people try to light me on fire, not so much. There was a time there was another stunt group, and so I would want to go in a lot of these stunt groups like POR and Too Stupid to Die and all these other different We Crazy, all these stunt groups. We would go and fly out and hang out for a weekend and film stunts together. And I went and hung out with this guy named Seth Leach and Cody Saints, who was also on Too Stupid to Die, which has Zach Ass, who was in the new Jackass movie. And so I was filming with him, and I was telling him about my fire trick, how to, use the spray. And when I fell asleep, I was just in the basement, just sleeping on the couch, and they thought it'd be a great idea to, hey, this would be funny. We can light Nathan on fire when he's asleep, and this would be great footage because, we were having a weekend of getting crazy footage. And I was just hyping up my fire trick, so they decided to flip it on me. So they sprayed my pants while I'm asleep, and then as soon as I smell it, I start waking up. But the second I wake up, I just go up in flames. And they sprayed it so thick that it was like dampened on the inside of my pant leg. So instantly, like, burned up my hair, and it was just burning my leg. And I was just kicking and screaming on the ground. So, but we got great footage, so that was pretty fun.
Wow, they should have some water. Well, see, you were there when Nick Gage got on fire. Yeah, we were there when he got on fire, man. He was burnt. Okay, he was burnt bad.
Yeah, geez. Yeah, I've seen that clip. I've seen that match. That was insane. Man.
Gage.
Yeah.
Tournament of Death, 4 finals.
You got to know what you're doing.
Yeah,
fire.
You have to know what you're doing.
From his videos I've seen, he knows what he's doing. He's got whatever he does pretty good. It looks good on it. He doesn't get burned. But these other guys, they don't know what they're doing. They're just putting too much. They're not wetting themselves. I don't know what they're doing. But see, what I would do is I would get a mannequin and I would practice. I would do so much practice before I did it. I would be like over and over. Let's try it again. Let's put some fire retardant thing on there. Make it wet. I would do over and over, and I'd see like, what do I have to do to make it look good and not even burn the mannequin?
Oh, definitely. And like for me, like it's fire is like one of my favorite things that I do, stunt wise and wrestling wise. I love being set on fire, breathing fire, all that stuff. But I've done it so much that could not be more comfortable with being on fire or setting someone else on fire. So I feel pretty good about it, but there's just so many times I see like in wrestling or stunts or whatever, people just being careless or reckless or not having like plans on what to do if it goes wrong. For me, I always have a fire blanket or some water or a fire extinguisher or a plan just in case, tucked away. So, but I want to do fire the right way. And when you do it the right way, you can have big fire and it could be, really rad.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Then JJ Allen loved you when he met you were right up their alley, POR stunts guys.
Oh yeah, man. One
of us.
JJ's like insane. He's probably the craziest person I know, and that's saying something. I know a lot of crazy people. He's just like, I don't know how much you've seen of POR stunts and everything that he's done.
Okay.
It's like, man, the guy's a maniac. I love him. He's such a cool dude, but yeah, absolute maniac of a person.
I know.
Yeah, Mike tells me all about the POR stuff. He always tries to show me. They're crazy.
No, I can't wait. I'm going to go to every show they got. We're about 3.5 hours from Timberville.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dude. Yeah, come out next time and we'll hang out.
I saw you in that match. I just didn't put two and two together until recently. But no, yeah, POR. I mean, if you go there and don't have a good time, even if you just hang out and look at people and just talk to people, everybody's really cool. It's very mellow, and you got Pool Boy Kardashian running all over the place.
I love that guy. What a character!
I know.
That's just how he is. Like, that's not like a thing. He's like, it's not like a character he's playing. That's just how he is all the time, and I love it. And
you got to interview him.
We have it's sometime this month. I don't know the date, but it'll be in March. Vice did a documentary in POR stunts, and so we had a big stunt day where all these stunt groups got together with POR stunts and filmed a bunch of crazy shit for Vice. And when that drops, you'll get to see everybody do some really wild. It was like probably the wildest stunt day any of us have ever had. So it was pretty nuts. I think only two people went to the hospital, so pretty good, all things considered.
Only two.
I'm trying to get him to do the flying fisherman.
I actually looked
you know what that is?
I think so.
Boat off the ramp.
Oh no! Yes, do that.
No, it's safe. It's safe. No, I actually looked it up. No, that's not the. No, that's a different one. Look, I'm going to talk. He's going to talk.
Mike's going to do it.
No, you're doing it. No, you're going to do it.
We'll get Mike to do it.
No, we'll do it. No, we'll do it. All right, we'll do it at the same time. We'll both be in the boat. How about that?
All right, we'll both be in the boat.
I'm jumping off right before it is. that is suicide. No, don't do the flying fisherman, man. That is 0%. Even if it goes the right way, it's going to be bad.
Best case scenario, it's not looking good. So
Yeah.
The flying fisherman, yeah, that was crazy, man.
Oh man, good times. I'm sure it was fun.
Oh yeah.
Looked like he got knocked out. The guy when he landed on his head.
Oh, the flying fisherman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You can't land that good. You're getting catapulted.
Oh. So into wrestling, what was the first death match you did or hardcore match?
that I did.
Yes.
So my first one ever was actually against JJ at POR Wrestling, and yeah, at Hardcore Halloween in 2011. So I threw a weed whacker at his nuts, and like, got skewered. He did the assault driver on Renegade Rebel off the roof through a bunch of light tubes, and I got set on fire. It was that was like my first hardcore match, and then I did a match at Southern Honor Wrestling against Tank, which was crazy. And so,
yeah, I saw that.
Like the legendary Tank, and that was like a crazy match, and got skewered, took the sickle, which was insane, and yeah, just getting stabbed, which is a crazy feeling. I don't know if you've ever been stabbed; it's pretty nuts. Yeah, he also set me on fire. It was a crazy match. So those are like my first two, I guess, death matches, and they were pretty close.
Yeah. The Tank match was outdoors, right? That wasn't a cage match, was it?
I did two death matches with Tank. My first was indoor, and the second one was at a biker rally in like North Georgia.
Okay, yeah, and he gave him the spikes. He gave him the sticks in the forehead.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, that hurt. Well, how's it feel when those things? I mean, so you're getting about 30 pieces of wood in you at once. What the minute that happens? What do you feel? Like do you go in shock, or like I'd be like, I don't know.
It's weird. I kind of compare it. I don't know if you have any tattoos or not, but it feels like just getting a bunch of tattoo needles like in your head at one time, and it just like it just stings a lot. But it almost feels like, this is a gross example, but you remember like when you were a teenager and you had a big zit and you would pop it, and how that would feel. It's just that feeling of your skin popping, and
because they're all popping. Yeah, they are penetrating, not that deep, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
And I feel like the pain, it sucks, but it's just like the feeling is probably grosser. I think it's just feels grosser than it is painful, if that makes sense.
Right, because it's not like it's punctures. It's a bunch of punctures.
Yeah, so it just feels more weird than painful, at least to me.
Yeah, you took a gusset plate in one match with Tank too, didn't you?
Yeah, I've taken a few gussets, but
the arm. Now we're amazed by that because we counted. It's like 12 across. I don't know. It's like 20 across, and then 10 across. There's about 140 spikes in one of those gusset plates.
Yeah,
you're stuck in your arm. That one, and I saw it. It's stuck. See, there's three ways. Either it sticks hard, it sticks a little and falls off, or they give it real bad and it doesn't do anything. There's three ways. It sticks and falls off, or doesn't even do anything. You're stuck.
Yeah, mine definitely stuck. It was
that means they're all in there, every spike.
Yeah, it was like, so for a bit I was like afraid to do like gussets, because I'm pretty much down for most things like in death matches, but for some reason I was kind of freaked out by gussets at first. And then I was like, you know what, if I'm going to be a deathmatch wrestler, I can't, be a wuss. I got to, do gussets. And so like at that biker rally match, I was like, all right, I want to do a gusset, hit with the gusset. But yeah, it just like, it sucks because it's just immediate, just teeth like in your skin. It's those gussets are meant to like hold wood framing of houses together. Like it just those sharp teeth into your, it just rips. I still got like scars from like those gusset plates. They're just they cut deep and they draw blood, so you get color immediately. It's insane.
See, if I ever saw a random person with a complete rectangular square, I'd be like, you're either a backyard wrestler or a pro wrestler. You'd be like, how you know? I'm like, the gusset plate. Nobody else would have that configuration of puncture.
It's a very unique.
a Japanese forehead.
No, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Was it a little intimidating that match, like knowing you were wrestling Tank?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's one of those things where it's like Tank is just like a total badass, like a legitimate badass, you know, man. And he was like some of my first matches. So
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I don't want to make him like look bad, but or anything, because he's such like he's great at what he does. But he like him and Rev Dan Wilson, they both took me under their wing, and they really saw something like in me and really took to me. And so we did a few matches and stuff together, and I just joined a stable with them last weekend. So
Okay, yeah. You're
Yeah.
with the Reverend, right?
Reverend, yeah.
yeah.
You mean the Reverend?
Yep, yeah, Reverend Dan Wilson. So we started a stable called Coven of the Goat.
I like it.
Yeah.
Kind of like Billy Graham had a Cult Fiction. Remember
Cult
that in
Fiction,
CZW?
absolutely.
Remember that reminds me of Cult Fiction, kind of.
Yeah.
Remember that with Brain Damage and those guys? It was later in CZW. Billy Graham is kind of like the Reverend.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't even know much of his stuff, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a good little group. So it's good when someone takes you under the wing, because you know they can just throw you to wolves. And a guy like Tank, you probably get respect as when you're walking in with him. You know what I mean? It helps in the business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Just being like I think I haven't been in it like too crazy long, but one thing I've known is just who you associate yourself with kind of says a lot, and people will kind of just respect you by proxy in a lot of ways. So
Yeah.
because people in the South, like everyone like respects Tank, like he's like a legend, like a Southern wrestling legend.
Oh, yeah.
Me just being like around him, it's really cool. It's like an honor, because like I grew up in the South, so I knew about Tank growing up. So to be in a stable with him is like really cool to me.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
That's something.
Yeah, that's
We saw Tank. I saw Tank in a lot of the Carnage Cups. I don't know. Have you ever been to a Carnage Cup?
I haven't ever been to him, no.
Oh, Carnage Cup. It's got your name written all over it, man.
Oh yeah, where is that? Is that in Alabama or where? I know.
Yeah. Alabama. It pops around from Alabama to Tennessee, depending on what Kevin Brennan can get.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it's got you written all over it, like you know, like high bumps, fire, gusset. Like I mean, yeah,
anything goes.
it would be. I don't know when it's coming up, but yeah, it wouldn't be hard for you to get on that. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'll probably holler at him. That'd be good.
It's like the rite of passage. It's kind of like the grimy, rough and southern outdoor. You know what I mean? It's like the I don't know. It's like the punk rock of the deathmatch tournaments, kind of. You know, like.
Love it. I love the old gritty Southern like outlaw backwoods whatever's. Like that's my kind of thing. So.
Well, that's Carnage Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not commercial.
That's where I first found out about Hoodfoot. Through a Carnage Cup. He took that.
Yeah, that's how I heard about him too.
Needles on the arm, needles all over.
Uh-huh.
Just crazy spots.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite match so far that you've had?
That I've had, man, it's hard to pick. It's probably a tie between the I Quit match with JJ, just because how ridiculous that was. And then also I had a match against this guy named Spectre for Southern Violence in Wrestling, and that's on my YouTube. I don't know if you've seen that or not, but
That's right.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, and it's like I'm really happy with how that match turned out, and he's like a really good wrestler, so I felt like we told a cool story and did a bunch of good stuff.
I was going to say that it was about 20. They gave him 20 minutes, like at a brewery or something.
Yeah, it was a brewery. It was the first time that we ever ran a show there, or that company ran a show there.
Yeah, they went hard for 20 minutes straight. It was long. I mean, it just kept going on and on and on. And they mixed it all up. It wasn't just like 100 tubes. It was tubes, wrestling outside the ring, inside the ring, bumps. It was like a perfect death, like, you know, a well-paced, like you said, story.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah, I was super stoked. And we used like hand sanitizer and stuff. And so that was crazy, because I was figured like, you know, we got to get cleaned up in the back anyway, so I might as well just do it out there in front. You know, I was just sitting out there.
What's the most painful gimmick you've taken in deathmatch wrestling?
Man, I Probably the gussets or just like a pane of glass, probably just because it just cuts like way different. I did my first pane of glass. It was like the last deathmatch thing I haven't done yet at No Peace 2 weekends ago, and I did a superplex of Madman Pondo, and I landed in the glass, and like it just cut my back because my shoulder hit the chair, and the glass slid, so I got a big cut on my back. So yeah, probably and maybe that's just because it's super fresh, but that's my I want to go with pane of glass, but probably gussets though.
Gusset plays. Oh,
Hey, but gussets is Pondo, he's a legend too. So you've been in there with some like high profile legends. What did you do with what did you say to Pondo? Did you give good advice?
Yeah, it's nuts because like I've been so thankful to like have all these like matches against like legends like this, especially like Pondo, and that like it's funny. Before our match, like it was me, this guy named Ozzy Killmeister, he's a Florida wrestler, he's really rad, and Pondo, and me and Ozzy were just pacing, getting ready, getting hyped up because we know we're about to do some crazy stuff, and Pondo's just sitting on the couch like he's just done this a million times, and he just doesn't look like he's worried at all or amped up at all. And he just like I just kind of sat around him, and he was just telling me a bunch of like, different tricks and different things I can do in the ring. And he just had a lot of knowledge because he's been doing death matches about as long as I've been alive. So it's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, mid-90s.
Yeah. I think he started like probably 92, 93. I was born in 91. So he has like just as much death match experience as I do life experience. So it was great getting
wrestled all over the world.
Yeah, just a legend. So yeah, being there was just super cool for me. So I love that.
Did you take the stop sign?
I didn't know. Ozzy, the other guy, ended up taking that.
Well, was that the match where they went off onto that little reindeer covered with light bulbs? And
no, that was Hardcore Hillbilly. That's the other Hillbilly guy. That's not Hillbilly Jim. That's not Killbilly, but Hardcore Hillbilly.
All hillbillies are alike to me.
Yeah. That was the match that happened right before me. So just Hardcore Hillbilly was going after Pondo. Killbilly was going after Pondo. We all fell short though.
The legendary.
Yeah, tonight they're doing a IWTV show. We're missing it, but it was probably almost ended in New Jersey. H2O. Would you be interested? You haven't been up to the Northeast, have you?
No, not yet. No.
Oh, that's a rite of passage, man. One of them either H2O, GCW, XPW, CZW. He runs shows sometimes.
Man, yeah, I'm open for all that. I mean, I'm looking to get out there more, especially going out to those areas. I mean, I've been fans of those companies for a long time, so yeah, I would love to work there if the opportunity came up. So yeah, I'm looking to kind of expanding a little further than the South and everything. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens this year.
You live in a good area because you can get to Atlanta. Atlanta to Philly runs cheap flights all the time. I like $20. Not your Spirit Airlines, $39. You could make it up here and have someone pick you up because all the guys drive through Philly, New Jersey, wrestle, drop you off at the airport at 2 a.m, and then get the flight out. You could be in and out in less than 24 hours.
For sure. That's kind of what I'm doing this weekend. I'm going up to Detroit area. I'm having a match against Hardcore and Satu Jin. So
wait, Hardcore? The guy from New Jersey or
he's from
he did UW. Oh, okay, yeah, Hardcore. Yeah, he got tattoos.
Yeah.
We've seen that guy. Yeah, he goes hard too. Yeah, he's a good guy. Punk rock type of hardcore punk rock type of guy.
Yeah, absolutely insane. He's showing me all the weapons that he's bringing, so he's going to go really hard for this. So, and me being a filmmaker, I like bringing my own cameras with me. So we're going to try to bring my cameras up to get a really nicely filmed match to put out.
And what show is this on?
This is True Wrestling Underground. It's a no ring death match bar show. It's at Sterling Heights, Michigan.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So where did the name Killbilly come from?
So I wanted to so for me, I am Southern, so I wanted something that sounded Southern that also, was kind of cheeky and over the top sounding, like very pro wrestling, but also had to be a little violent. And because I'm a filmmaker, I had to do something with movies, so it also is based in like Kill Bill and that whole type of aesthetic. So yeah, just a mix of violent Southern guy that also works in movies and just loves the outrageous name of Killbilly. So that's kind of the thought behind it, I guess.
See, you don't even come, for some reason, you come off as a Northeasterner, like a Northeast guy. I mean, because I don't hear any accent in your voice from South.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I'm from like East Tennessee, and like if you see me and my family, they're like very Southern. Like my brother's a taxidermist, like they're very, very much Southern, very like Duck Dynasty type dudes, just tough Southern guys.
Wait, do people tell you have a different accent?
No, like their accents are way stronger. Like some people, like I have a very light one. Sometimes you can hear it a little bit, but my accent's not that strong. But
I wouldn't know. Would you know?
No,
I mean, I wouldn't know if I heard your accent. It's like an NBC national news guy that doesn't have any accent. People,
sure.
When you just can't, like, I don't know. I don't know any accent this guy's got. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird. Because he's really not hillbilly. Because the stuff he's into, directing, doing
all those editing and all that. Hillbilly.
Yeah. So yeah.
What's the worst injury you've had in your career thus far?
I haven't actually had any injuries so far. I haven't gotten injured in stunts, and I haven't gotten injured in wrestling. So I've miraculously escaped. I don't know. So
knock on wood. Let's not talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, that marks.
It's kind of miraculous, actually. So
all right, I marked that one off. We usually ask, what's the craziest thing you tell the doctor when you go to the hospital?
Yeah. And
they're like, oh, yeah, I fell through this. I was camping and I cook out. And, Eddie, remember Eddie with his arm squirting out? The story behind that. You know what he said? You know what happened with that, right? He got cut at TOD first round.
Yeah. No, I've seen that match. Like, something happened similar to me at No Peace last week after the Pondo thing. Like, if you watch the match, some of my tape kind of comes off, and you can't really see. It's kind of healing up now, but I kind of like cut my wrist a little bit. It's healed up now, but you can kind of see where it was, and that was bleeding really bad. Like when I had it all taped up, and then I was leaving the venue and I was going back, and all of a sudden I just felt like a bunch of like warm liquid, and it was just pumping out really bad in the car. So we had to pull over and get it stopped. But outside of that, I haven't really had any, nothing too freaky happen.
Well, you tape? I mean, do you tape up good?
Yeah, I did. I don't know what happened, but like I think I missed like a little bit, and it kind of came undone for whatever reason. But yeah, I'm not going to make that mistake again. So definitely going to tape up a lot better next time.
The best taper out there is John Murdoch.
Oh yeah.
Murdoch knows how to tape. He's got to. The stuff he goes through, he'd be cut. You got to, you got to tape up good, real good.
Yeah, I really just got a bunch of tape, so I'm ready to up my tape game.
The flesh color tape doesn't show up as much as the white if you don't want to. You know what I mean? I remember Court Robinson used to wear like electrical tape, man. And he would pound anything with that. Yeah. You gotta do it. Yeah.
Electrical tape is the way to go.
Yeah. Did you see the Mickey injury from a couple weeks ago?
The which injury?
Mickey Knuckles. Angels of Death match tournament in New Jersey.
Yes. Yeah. With the tube, and cut her leg. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she was walking on it. Funny thing about that, tell them about what we were going to do.
We had a dinner set up with her. We were going to get a couple fans and have lunch with her. But she got injured.
Oh man, yeah. I'm a big Mickey Knuckles fan. My girlfriend loves Mickey Knuckles. Like my girlfriend's like a huge women's deathmatch wrestling fan, so she was so which is awesome. So she's like I got her into wrestling like 2 years ago, and it's like I was like, man, I don't know if she's going to be into this, and then she started watching death matches with me, and then when she started watching Casey Kirk, like she like fell in love with it. And then when Casey Kirk won the American Deathmatch Championship, my girlfriend cried. Like,
Wow, really?
yeah, she loved it. So it's really cool. So like watching her be emotionally moved by something like that, it's
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you see The Life of the Kirks on IWTV?
Yeah, I literally just watched it like yesterday.
I don't. You haven't seen it yet.
I have not.
It's excellent. It's very emotional. Did you watch it with your girlfriend?
Yeah, we both did. Yeah, we watched it
Oh,
together.
she must have really cried during that one, didn't she?
Yeah, she's a big fan of the Kirks, and she's gotten to meet Casey like a few times, and Casey was, she's been really cool, like, and really sweet to her, and she's and I'm just a big fan of the Kirks and what they do. I really like what they do in the ring, so I think they tell great stories. So big fan of them. They seem
They love the business, and she goes hard, man.
they go crazy hard. That match that she just had with Rena at GCW. I don't know if you guys saw that one yet, but that one's like,
You told me, but I didn't see that. I'm going to watch that. Yeah.
that one's like, really good. A banger. That's one of the better ones I've seen in a minute. It's so good.
I was at the first one that she did with Jimmy Lloyd at the CZW, and I was impressed. I'm like, where does she come from? I didn't really know much about her.
Oh,
Yeah.
Exploding barbed wire and stuff. That one.
Yeah, with the no boards. I'm like, this.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. But she went. I'm like, what is going to go? She's tough.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I'm so jealous of all these events you've been to. That's awesome.
Oh man, yeah, we've been. I mean, CZWs, the IWA Deep Souths, and Pondos, Masters of Pains, and it's everywhere. In New Jersey, I mean, Matt Tremont runs every couple of days. Yeah, man.
He's having a show right now.
So that interests me. Now, this is your girlfriend had no knowledge of wrestling. Well, she knew wrestling, but she didn't know about the underground, the deathmatch scene, and all that that you were into. When you first showed it to her, what was her expression? Because I've showed ex-girlfriends, and they think, I mean, what's wrong with you?
My girlfriend's like super cool, so she was just like, she's open, that kind of thing. Like, she's into heavy music, and she's like into more aggressive kind of art anyway. So I was like, okay, she's probably be open to this. And like I was watching like WWE, and I think she thought like she like was watching Charlotte Flair and thinking, oh, this is cool. And I showed her like Sasha versus Bailey, Brooklyn Takeover 2015, and she's like, oh, this is awesome, I really like this. But then I started watching GCW.
Okay.
And I think it was because like Joey Janela on AEW, because I was doing production at AEW, and so then I started showing her Joey Janela clips, which led to other GCW clips, and then we just started watching GCW, and then all the other things, and then me just geeking out, me like, all right, this guy's name Onita, let me tell you about him, and then geeking out hard on all that stuff.
Yeah, we went to the Explosion Death Match in Trenton baseball stadium. That was fun. That was a lot of good.
Oh man, I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's great.
How about that suplex Rena and Casey took from the ring to the ground? That was crazy.
It's insane. Like, it's one thing because like I haven't been wrestling for about like a year or so I'm still like newer, and like going from like person that's just been around wrestling for a lot, and now that I'm actually in there taking bumps and working, like I have a completely different like level of appreciation. So when I see people putting on matches and taking bumps like that, it blows my mind, like even more so than it already did before. So spots like that are crazy.
So you've been in it a couple of years. We always ask about the etiquette, the back ring etiquette. So do guys like Tank? You walk into a dressing room with those guys, or somebody's dressing room with like Pondos. Do you have to like humble yourself? Like, are you like the shaking of the hand and I'm just gonna sit here and not be a loud mouth? Like, what? How you get nervous in there around that scene, or I'm talking about the etiquette, the know your role as a young wrestler.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the thing is, just like at first I was a little nervous, but I think Dan and Dank have taken such a good liking to me that it's one of those things where I ask them like, hey, what do I need to do, or what's the proper etiquette and stuff. So they have a lot more, I guess, grace for me or whatever if I mess up, because I'm kind of under their wing, so I get a little bit more wiggle room, I guess. So
Okay.
yeah, so I feel really comfortable with Tank and everything now, since I've always felt pretty comfortable with Tank, but I do absolutely respect them. And same with Pondo, because I was like kind of nervous to talk to him. I'm like, do I walk up to him? Am I like, what I do? And I saw him and I said, hey, I'm Nathan. I'll be working you. Like, good to meet you. And I was like, what do you want to do? And he's like, we'll just have fun, man, and just listen. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh man, we're not gonna like plan a lot. Oh man.
Like, do I start questioning him? Like, am I insulting him by telling him I want to talk about it? Like,
that's the thing about, like, for instance, like wrestling JJ, like me and him will be like, this is all the stuff we want to do. And with Tank and Pondo, they're old school, so they're just like, all right, this is the finish, and listen, and we'll just do a bunch of other stuff. And it's like, that's way freakier just to go out there not really knowing what's going to happen. But that's that old school kind of mentality, and just kind of call it in the ring. But Pondo, like, me and Ozzy, we were calling him like sir. We're like, yes sir, and he's like, hey, you guys don't have to call me sir.
That's fine. Yeah, real. I know he doesn't want to be called sir, man.
Yeah, he was just.
Huh?
He was cool. Yeah, he was just so cool, and I was like, he made me feel really comfortable and really good. So yeah, so any intimidation kind of went away as soon as I started talking to him, because he was super, super cool.
Pretty good. Pondo's good. Yeah, if you can't get along, nobody ever has anything bad to say about Pondo. If you can't get along with him,
yeah, you can get along with anyone.
Yeah, but there are those grizzled veterans that just like, what are you doing? You think you're with that guy? Oh, and you're like, look, I don't want any trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's kind of like going to the first day of prison.
Oh yeah,
right?
What was that?
It's kind of like going to the first day of prison, like. Don't sit there. That's that gang. Don't like all these unwritten rules. I watch these shoot prison documentaries, and you're like, stuff that you would offend, like, don't brush your teeth and spit out into the sink. Like, what? I don't. Like things that would not be that you do in normal life could disrespect you, get you killed there.
Oh yeah.
So, like dressing room etiquette, like, oh, I didn't know. I just took a seat. Nobody was sitting there.
Or I didn't shake his hand.
You're supposed to ask who sits there. Like, oh, I didn't know. Can I bring my own chair? No, don't be a wise ass. Shut up.
Yeah, there's like a lot of stuff that I just don't even like that I'm still kind of learning and stuff. And so there is like a lot of etiquette and unspoken rules and traditions and things that kind of like you just wouldn't know unless someone's told you, you know. And for instance, like one rule is like after like if you have like a death match and you're all covered in your blood and everything, like after you get your photos and everything, it just like go wash the blood off. You don't have to like wear the blood the entire night and go home wearing the blood or whatever. It's kind of like what some people were telling me, because I was doing that where I was just wearing the blood the entire night. They're like, come on, man, you can like wash that off, man. What are you doing? I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't know that was like a thing. So, and some people don't care, but that for some in the deathmatch world, that's like a thing that I've been told.
Oh, you're supposed to wash off.
Yeah, you're supposed to like wash off and not just like be walking around with dried blood on your face the rest of the night.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I know what you're saying. So it's best, even though it might not offend some of them, to play it safe, wash off. They're not going to get on you for not washing off, for washing off. They're going to, you know what I mean? So you'd rather watch. That's what I'm saying. But then you can't be too much sheepish, because then you look like I don't know, like the new guy in prison that doesn't want to talk to anybody, right?
And I think for that whole bleeding rule, I think that's more so bleeding in normal wrestling, more so than death match, because death match, everyone's bleeding a lot, so it doesn't really matter as much. But I think as far as like regular wrestling, that's more so of a rule. But yeah, it's like luckily, like I think with a few locker rooms that I'm kind of in the South, whether it be No Peace, Southern Honor, or TWE in Chattanooga, it's like a really awesome locker room. Like the people there are really good, so we don't have that much, like bullshit to deal with.
Oh, okay. Sarah Dox and Brad Cash. You know those two?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I just met Brad Cash. Was that
They're good people. We interviewed them a couple weeks ago.
nice? Yeah, I just just met Brad Cash at that show at that brewery because he also had a match on that show and met him there, and we want to do a match where it's him and Insane Lane versus me and JJ Escobar. So we're just waiting.
Ooh.
So the challenge has been laid out. So if any promotion wants to book that, or whoever has the balls, or whoever is crazy enough to book us four in the same ring, let's do it. Someone make it happen.
Oh. Any advice Pondo give you after the match?
Let's see. Nothing too really. I asked him like, "Hey, was there any do I have any notes or anything?" He's like, "No, you just said you did like pretty good," and he was just kind of telling me certain facial expressions to kind of make and kind of where to sell and always look for the camera and stuff like that, and a bunch of other like really small like detail tricks of the trade, like hit someone like this, or it'll be louder if you do it this way, or just those
I know he doesn't like fire.
No.
Oh yeah. That was one of the first things he said to me. He was like, he said, "Hey, you lighting yourself on fire?" I was like, "Do you want me to?" He's like, "That's not what I asked you." I was like, "No." So, yeah, he's not a fan of fire, but I very much am.
He doesn't like the smell of alcohol. That's why he doesn't like the smell of fumes.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's not the most pleasant smell.
What's your end goal in deathmatch wrestling?
Man, I would like to, be good enough to like maybe just have like a run in Japan or something, or to win like a major deathmatch title. If I could win something like the American Deathmatch title or something like that, that would be like the coolest like goal ever for me. So maybe something like that, winning like a significant deathmatch title or wrestling in Japan. Those are my big goals. And there's like people that I obviously would love to wrestle and promotions that I would love to wrestle at. So, but that's probably my biggest goal: wrestle in Japan and then win a major deathmatch title.
A lot of guys are the deathmatch guys we've interviewed. They're more interested in the tournaments and like either making it to the finals or winning. That's their thing. Getting deep in the tournament. That's their goals. A tournament like a TOD, a tournament, a Carnage Cup, Masters, any type of tournament. Remington Roar. Those guys. They're more about tournament. In fact, they consider even participating in a tournament is like a notch. Like I did that tournament. You know what I mean? And if they can advance in it, that's even more of a notch. And winning it, like Tremont won 5 of them in 1 year. Remember that?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a big
thing. Yeah, and I'm definitely not saying I don't want to do like tournaments. I want to do tournaments. I haven't even done a deathmatch tournament, so I really would love that. So if there's ever an opportunity for do that, I would love to do deathmatch tournaments because there's a bunch of legendary ones that I would love to compete in, and that'd be a cool thing to do, and maybe one day win like a cool like deathmatch tournament. But death tournaments and also just winning like a big deathmatch title, whether that be in a tournament or a belt, I think that would be kind of my end goal.
He's right down there with Carnage Cup.
Yeah, right down there with Carnage Cup. Absolutely. Yeah. Maybe we'll take Carnage Cup home with you. Be great.
Hey, there you go. We'll make it happen.
We always talk about fans, wrestling fans as well, and I know you have a good fan base. Deathmatch title for all on Instagram. By the way, anyone watching this, follow him on Instagram. He reached out to me. He's a big fan. Wrestling fans, what's the craziest thing someone has had signed?
Oh, man, there was one time, and this is more like a fan from like more of like the filmmaking side of things, but someone sent me like they wrote like it was like this girl, and she wrote like a story, like a made up romance about me and her falling in love, and then and it was like basically 2/3 of a story, and then like the last part, it was just kind of like, and then the rest of the story is up to you, kind of thing. Could you like
a fan?
Yeah, and she was like, "You can like make the rest of the story," kind of thing, and I'm like, "Nah, I'm good." So that was probably the weirdest thing that anyone's ever.
Okay. Does your girlfriend travel with you?
Yeah, she travels with me. So
Oh, okay. All right.
yeah.
The ring girls.
So while traveling, you like to eat. What's your favorite place to eat on the road?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's been
man.
everywhere.
I love a good just a good burger and a good beer. So I like hitting up like whatever the local really cool brewery or whatever in a town is. So that's always what I try to find. And I'm also big on like Mexican food, and I'm a big fan of all foods, but burger and beer probably is what I seek out most.
We gotta ask him the Wawa.
The Wawa. Have you ever had Wawa?
Oh yeah. I love Wawa and Sheets.
Which one you like better?
Probably Sheets, if I'm being honest. I really dig Sheets food, and it's probably because it's just a little bit more closer to where I guess in the places I drive. But yeah, I'd say Sheets guy.
You know, the breakfast question. The big four. Waffle House, IHOP, Denny's, or Cracker Barrel.
For me, if anybody knows me, I am a diehard Waffle House person.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got one in Smyrna, right? We're like a minute away. We could be at a Waffle House right now.
Oh, dude, I'm all about. I get that all-star special, and I get the egg sunny side up and smush it in with all the hash browns, and it's just the most delicious. It is just a gift from above. I love me some Waffle House. It's so cheap, so delicious, always open. There's like they've probably opened 5 or 6 more since the podcast, since the beginning of this podcast here in the South. They're just like everywhere down here. So
yeah, they're all over the place. We got one in Smyrna.
We got one in Smyrna,
Middletown. Yeah, we got about 4 or 5
in the area.
in Delaware. Yep.
Oh yeah,
they're not up in North. I got relatives that come down. Listen, I've been at Waffle House. There's people taking pictures in front of the Waffle House. I'm like, we're from Maine or we're from Canada going down to the beaches, and they're out there taking pictures in front of the Waffle House, like
as they should.
As they should. Yeah. What else we got?
Oh, I grew up in South Philly. I never had Waffle House. When I was living in Philadelphia, I don't think we have any in Philly.
No,
there's none.
No, they're from the South. They started in like either Georgia or South Carolina, and they moved up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they started in Georgia. Yeah, are they like nationwide, or is it still predominantly just like the South?
That's that chunk, like that Tennessee, Kentucky. I don't know, Alabama maybe, and then up to I think they go as far. I don't know if they go to New Jersey. I know they got a Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, and then it's like that imaginary border where they won't go into PA. Yeah.
Haven't touched that market yet.
Yeah. White Castle?
Nah, not a big White Castle guy.
You never been to one?
No, I've been to them. I'm not a big fan of like White Castle or Crystals or any of the small burger places. I don't know what it is.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
IHOP.
I like some IHOP. Out of the 4, like if I had to like rank it, it would probably be like Waffle House from 1, and then Cracker Barrel, then IHOP, and then whatever the 4th one was.
Denny's.
See, I go Cracker
Yeah,
Barrel. I go Cracker Barrel, Waffle House, and Pancake House tied at 2nd, and then Denny's.
Denny's a list. I would go Denny's number 1. I love Denny's.
Oh.
It's cheap. It's so cheap. That's the thing.
I love good stuff. Yeah.
I like cheap.
There you go.
So, I was going to ask him about so now this guy's a jack of all trades. I'm seeing. All right, you did a documentary about the heavy metal band.
Yeah, so I did a documentary about this band named Siren, and
I'm gonna watch that. I haven't seen it, but I'm a big documentary fan.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, check it out and let me know what you think. It's on YouTube now, so it's on Amazon Prime and a bunch of other streaming services, but just easiest on YouTube. But so I used to I do a lot of like a bunch of video work for like Chris Jericho and like Fozzy and everything, and through that, Chris messaged me one day and he said, "Hey, I have this friend of mine. His name's Ed Aborn, and he was telling me the other day that his band from high school called Siren, they were like a thrash metal band in the 80s that broke up like a little bit after high school, are randomly getting back together to play this big show in Germany because this fan wants to bring them into this big festival." So, and he's like, I think this would be a cool documentary. I'm like, that sounds awesome. And so he gave me his number. I called Ed Aborn and we talked for a while. And then, then Chris like helped fund and create this documentary. And then I followed them from getting the band back together, like, and kind of like working on, like some of them had like falling outs and stuff. And it's all these like 50-something-year-old dudes.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how to like operate in the airport, get to a different country and be in their high school metal band again. And even figure out like, is this event even going to happen? Is this legitimate? Is this a real promoter? Is this a real show? Like what's going to happen when we get to Germany? So it was just a crazy experience. And like, it was me and my buddy Julian Fidelli, another great filmmaker. We just went over to Germany, just 2 camera guys, and got to mute my phone. But yeah, and so edited that, and we've it's called I'm Too Old for This Shit, a heavy metal fairy tale. So
I like that because I grew up on metal. I used to go to all the metal shows like Dio and all the Motley Crue, Metallica, you name them. I used to go to those back in the day when they were like LA Guns, Fast Pussycat, all the heavy metal bands. And I used to do that parking lot scene and partying in the park. It was a scene in itself that is not reproduced now.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, especially with like, and you'll see in the Siren documentary, especially we were talking about like the partying in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Like, when we were in Germany, it literally felt like we went into a time machine back into the 80s where everyone's like their big 80s like hair and their denim jackets and they're all just pounding beers in the parking lot. And it's just crazy.
And you're a fan of metal?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, it's weird. I was at a Judas Priest show and Queensryche Judas Priest in Philly about after the virus, a year and a half ago, about a year. And I'm seeing young people there. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, how do you know? And I'm amazed. And they're like, my dad got me into it. Or some people are just, I just got to go to them and say, like, where did you learn about this? Because you know what I mean? The new scene is different. And I'm always impressed by the very young people when they're at a show that when the first album came out, they weren't even born.
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, like it was like random like movies and like video games. Like for me, like I remember growing up, there was a Whiplash by Metallica was on a Tony Hawk game, and I was like, "Oh, this song is really cool." And then I remember seeing like a video, like a documentary on them on MTV once. It's like, "Oh, that's the band from the Tony Hawk game. I want to watch this." And then you learn about all their other music and then all the bands that they tour with. And then the documentary, they talk about bands they were influenced by. And then, you know, it spiderwebs from there. And that's how a lot of people kind of got into it.
You like Dio?
Ish. I haven't like explored like a lot of Dio, but just kind of like the more like, you know, bigger hits or singles.
Okay. You love documentaries. Showtime has an excellent documentary on Dio.
Okay.
He started in the 50s. He was in like a very pop band, like not even low, like very acoustic, you know, very like they wore suits, and then he changed. Look, watch that documentary, the Dio on Showtime, if you can get it.
Yeah, I love like music documentaries, so I'm big on that. So I'm gonna watch yeah, especially like old bands. I like learning about like older bands, and I think like I have appreciation for artists that have been around for a long time, even if I don't like know their music that well. Like if a band comes through like Atlanta, and I'm like, I have to go see this band because I know they're not going to be around forever. Like one of my buddies, like he was telling me about when he was 13, he saw Nirvana live, and to me, I'm just like, that's the craziest thing in the world, but at the time, it probably wasn't like, it was just, oh, that's the band Nirvana. Like, what bands are happening right now that will blow someone else's mind like 20 years down the line that I saw? So, like, now that's why I went and saw, like, you know, Paul McCartney and Aerosmith and Guns N' Roses and AC/DC and all these, like, old bands and artists. And like,
okay.
So,
funny thing,
yeah.
I saw Linkin Park open for a band, Cottonmouth Kings, a band called the Cottonmouth Kings. They opened up for them. Linkin Park opened up. They're in the lobby after the show, after their set, and I'm like, these guys are good. and they're handing out tapes. And this is like 90, like maybe 2000 or something. And I'm like, they had these big box of tapes, the guys in the band. And I'm like, man, where are you guys getting all? Where'd you get money for this? He said, oh, we're signed with Capitol Records. The band Cottonmouth Kings was on Capitol Records, so Capitol put them out on the tour. And I'm like, you guys are really good. And I'm like, and they were giving out tapes. I'm like, oh, I'll check it out. They said, we got a video coming out, MTV. They took off. They skyrocketed. They had the #1 album and video, and they were still opening for the band Cottonmouth Kings.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Yeah. Soundgarden, I saw them in a club. Rage Against the Machine in a small venue too.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's so cool. Like, man, like there was I think it was like Rockstar Mayhem Festival, and I forgot what year, but I remember I got to see Slayer and Motorhead, which was like crazy. Like to especially see Lemmy in person. I'm like, that's like so far beyond celebrity. That's just whatever's above like being a celebrity. Just seeing someone like that, it's like seeing Abraham Lincoln. You know what I mean? It's like that's not even. It's like well beyond just celebrity status.
Oh yeah. Like that. Who else?
I've seen Flyleaf.
Who?
Flyleaf. They opened up a small little
Flyleaf.
Flyleaf.
I've heard of it. I've heard of them. Yeah. I like the women rockers. Joan Jett, Runaways, all those legendary female rockers. Yeah, I like them. Yeah. So he did the Jericho. So you did the Jericho video. Judas, right?
Yeah. Yes.
How'd you get that? I mean, you were right in there. I saw your gold record you have. You don't have it?
Yeah.
Do you?
So was that? Oh, I do, but it's in my living room and it's like on my wall. I can't really pull it
Don't worry
out.
about it. We saw it on video. Yeah, that's cool.
Oh yeah, man. It's so like so I like I said, I was saying earlier, like I've been working with Diamond Dallas Page, or I work for Diamond Dallas Page at DDP Yoga, which is not just like his fitness company, but it's also a production company where we make videos and do a bunch of stuff. Like Dallas has Dallas has like a million. He has like a million projects going on at any given time. And Jericho came in because we have a studio in at DDP Yoga, and he came in for like a photo shoot, and he was looking at the place. He's like, "Yeah, this would be a cool place to shoot a music video." And Dallas and Steve Yu, Dallas' business partner, were like, "Oh, well, Nathan, he does music videos and everything. You should hire him." And he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, Nathan, can you give me your phone number?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, here." And then Jericho texts me. It's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I want to do a video that's like Guns N' Roses' Garden of Eden, if you've ever seen that video." And so I looked that up, and I was like, "Okay, cool." And it was just like a static shot, and it was just like Axl Rose up front, and then there's people with lights in the background. And then I was like, okay, I want to do that, but then I want to have just a bunch of random things running in and out, and like I'll have a little guy with like a fan. I'll have like some dancing evil clowns. I had my brother light me on fire, and I ran across like on fire, and then I ran back to keep directing.
Yeah.
So, and then we did the Judas video, and I remember before doing that video because I wanted to get into music videos, and I did a lot of local bands, and I did some stuff for like the band Islander, which is like a bigger band that does some really cool stuff. But I remember seeing Fozzie's last music video, and it was Sandpaper, and it had over 1 million views, and thinking, oh man, this video could have over 1 million views. This would be really cool. Yeah. And now it has like 65 million views, and and it's like. I guess it was the summertime of last year when it went gold, and I came back to my house, and I saw like this box like on my porch, and I was just like, huh, that's weird. And then in my head I was like, it could be, but I'm not going to like hype myself up. And I open it up, and then I see that it's like presented to me or whatever, and it just freaked out. So it was just really cool, and I got to do like I did a few more. I did like 3 other music videos for Fozzy. I did a short documentary called Fozzy Across America, and a bunch of other miscellaneous projects, and that documentary, and I'm about to start working on another project with Jericho on Luther from FMW and AEW, if you know Luther. So Luther was one of my like original trainers, and he, like, most people don't know about his like background in like hardcore wrestling and deathmatch wrestling, and they kind of just know him from AEW. Yeah, and so anyway, he had like about 50 VHS tapes of stuff from Japan and throughout his career that no one's ever seen. So I digitized all these tapes. So I want to do a documentary on Luther because he has so many cool stories and so much great footage. I'm like, this has to be put out somewhere. So that's something that we're probably going to start this year, depending on how everyone's schedules line up. So that's another thing I kind of have going on.
Wow. See, I'm a big look. I love documentaries. I can't sit there and watch an intergalactic 2-hour movie of blowing up spaceships and the moon explode. I watch documentaries. I'll even put. I mean, I'm going to watch that one about the band Siren and look more stuff. But I love documentaries, and I appreciate documentaries so much because they're informative. And see, he could take something like Luther. He's not the most famous, and nobody really knows him. I mean, he's not like, oh, yeah. But he'll make it interesting. You're like, wow, like the Dark Side of the Rings. Those are interesting to people that don't even know anything about wrestling, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So when you can make a documentary, and it can be about the history of plastic bottles, and it's going to be interesting if it's done properly.
Done properly,
yeah.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And these kids today, won't. A lot of the young kids, they won't watch a documentary. They can't sit there and learn about something.
I love documentaries. Those are some of my favorite like things to watch. So I'm real big on that. But especially like wrestling documentaries.
Wrestling, yeah.
Oh yeah, the documentaries about the oh yeah, they got them Japanese guys. The Jun Kasai documentary. Check that out.
Oh yeah, is that on YouTube or where can I see that? Or is that a Vice thing?
For it.
It's on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah, it's excellent. It's in English subtitles. English subtitles is it's just as good as Mondo's. It's really good. His family and walking around in Japan, injuries. Oh, it was really good. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I think they have like a little I think I saw a teaser or a scene from it on YouTube, but I don't think I've watched the whole thing. But yeah, I'll definitely want to check that out.
Yeah, that's a must see.
They had a good little Joey Janela one. Please Don't Die. That one. I don't know
that Kevin Johnson.
Yeah.
Guy? Oh, he's good too.
Yeah, Kenny Johnson. Like I know of him. We haven't ever met, but I just kind of know him through just wrestling filmmaker like kind of world. But I love his stuff. Like anybody listening to this podcast, like go to his like YouTube channel. He has some amazing documentaries on wrestlers. It's like the Please Don't Die Joey Janela. He has one on with MJF that's so funny. I don't know if you've seen that one. It's
yeah. Saw it. Yeah, everything Kevin Johnson's put out is good. He did. I think he did Maria Manic. He's done. Yeah, he does a lot of. Yeah, I'm a big like I said. I'll watch a documentary any day.
We always ask people at the gathering for the Juggalos. Have you ever been to one of the gatherings?
No, I want to go. I feel like it would be a fun time. I was talking to for whatever reason over the past year or so, I've gathered a lot of Juggalo friends. So it just kind of happened. They've all flocked to me. Like a lot of people from POR. There's a lot of Juggalos in that crew, and CJ Lawler, who's also in Coven of the Goat with Tank and Rev. He's like a big Juggalo and ICP fan. So he's wrestled at JCW and stuff there. So I want to wrestle at Gathering of the Juggalos and just go people watch because it seems like a spectacle. I love just absolutely insane people.
He thinks like us. Yeah. Look, at the Gathering of Juggalos, you don't even have to like anything there. Put yourself in a chair and just sit there and watch. And you're like, wow, whoa.
It's nuts.
And you know what? It's the safest place you'll ever be. You're safer there than anywhere in the inner city, walking around or anywhere. Nobody bothers anybody. Nobody I mean, it might be a little mischief here and there, but you're going to be safe. I'm telling you, I would walk around the Juggalos. I've been to multiple gatherings of Juggalos. Pondo told me about it back when he was in 2000. He said, you need to go to this gathering in I'm like, what is it? What is it? He said, I've been to it. He went to the first one, and then I went to the next, a whole bunch of them. Luke Hadley, guys like that. Yeah. And all the guys have been there. J.J. Allen, Drake Younger, all those guys have been there. Some guys that I didn't even know were there. They were there as kids.
Really? I feel like I gotta go. I feel like it's gonna be one of those things, like I was telling you before, with seeing like legendary bands or whatever. I feel like if I make it to where I'm 80 years old and people are like, oh, you were alive at the same time as Gathering of the Juggalos and you didn't go, like, I don't want to do that. I have to experience this. Like I gotta know. Like, so I'm definitely open to going. I might go this year. I've talked to JJ about it. So
he'll be there.
Oh hell yeah, let's make it happen.
He does the stunt show there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's insane. But hell yeah. Yeah. Count me in. Let's go to the gathering.
Oh, you'll love it. You'll love it. But I get a hotel. Try to get a hotel in the area because there's not much showers. I mean,
I'll camp out one day.
I'm not high maintenance. You can camp out, but I just can't be dirty. Like I got to get a shower. I can be dirty all day, but I got to have the showers to go. I can't go 2 days without a shower. I'm a baby.
I feel you. I would go mad.
Yeah, it's something else. Some of them have been really outrageous. As they did so your girlfriend likes the women wrestlers, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, we asked these guys this too. What do you think about wrestling? You haven't wrestled a woman yet, right?
Yes. Well, kind of. I did a scramble at No Peace, and that was the only time like I ever wrestled because Kyla King and Chelsea Durden were in the match. Okay. And so we interacted. That's about the furthest extent of intergender for me.
Okay.
Thus far.
I'm talking like a first round of a death match versus like a feminine female. You know what I mean? Like, how would you feel about wrestling a woman?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely open to it. I think that would be awesome. Especially because like I think people in the South are not like typically into seeing that kind of thing. Like a lot of people feel weird about it, but I have a different kind of like thought on it. Especially like you see my girlfriend watching like women's deathmatch wrestling and how empowered she feels by it, and how her friends are like, "This is the coolest thing ever." And then you watch some intergender matches, and there's just like seeing like a woman go toe to toe with a man is like really cool, and I get to see like my girlfriend get really amped up about that, and her friends get amped up. But I think that's just a cool thing. I think it's wrestler, so I would definitely be open to it. And some of my favorite deathmatch wrestlers are women. You know, like
me too.
Yeah, so I'm I'm about it. I think intergender wrestling rules.
I like it a lot too. But because I'm older than you, I remember way back in the day when there was no intergender wrestling, and it was Mickey Knuckles was young, and this was almost 20 years ago, and she wrestled in one of the first times in a tournament of death, in King of the Death against the guy, and it was like Ian Rotten didn't want to put her in it. It was unprecedented. It was never been done. She wanted to be with the boys and do it. Nobody knew she could hang. It was like today it's a common thing. I'm trying to compare it to something that is accepted, like tattoos or something like that. Like nobody had tattoos, now everybody's got them. Now all the girls are doing it. When Mickey first did it.
Yeah, she was the first woman to do a lot of that stuff.
And we were more in awe when we saw a girl in there taking the punishment. Yeah. It was like, what? We couldn't believe it. So because you and a lot of the younger guys grew up on it, it's more accepted. You know what I mean? But to me, it's still like I got the old school mentality, but I can't get it out of my head. I don't know what it is. It's just like but the women that we've interviewed, they want to be hit. They don't want you to go easy on them because it's going to make them look bad. They don't want it. They want to be toe to toe.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can't. You got to treat them as equals, and you have to hit just as hard. And it can't
Right.
suck the art. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's awesome, and it's like for me, like when I was growing up, you have like China on TV, beating up people. So I mean it's. I guess it's just, a different generational thing. For me, it's like, I think not as taboo as it once was. And I think can be really cool and have really interesting stories. So.
Oh yeah. That's like the girls I love the girls doing it. We got them all over the place. They're popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just going crazy. What's that? Session Moth from England.
Oh yeah. She goes.
Check her out. She's pretty good. Session Moth.
Session Moth. Yeah, her and like really big on like Sawyer Wreck. Like she's like crushing.
Oh,
she's like, killing. Like she's like doing some really cool stuff. Like there's just so many really rad. Like the Angels of Death tournament was so cool. Like that was such a fun thing to watch.
Oh
like, yeah. So I'm about it.
Lufisto,
and who'd she wrestle? The girl from the MDK. She wrestled them on
Alley Cat.
No, the girl, GCW. She just wrestled on Saturday. It's a really good match. The crowd was hot for it.
Asian?
Yeah.
Asian. I get it. So many. I can't remember them all.
It was good. It was good. Gage came out. The crowd was hot.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sawyer Wreck. Did you see the match with her and Tremont?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like the no-rope barbed wire one. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. They forgot there was barbed wire there, man. They were just going crazy with those. I never seen it. I'm like, this is over the top. Yeah, this is
Randy West too. I think Randy West is very underrated.
Oh, she's got legendary matches with Mickey Knuckles. They're I don't know. It's now you don't get many girls doing the stunt. I saw you set a couple of the girls on fire, but what is it with women? It's hard to get a girl to do those stunts, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. Like my one of my best friends growing up, like she was like kind of like my I would get her to do stunts, be set on fire and jump off of things and everything. But typically, I think girls have better sense growing up than a lot of guys do. I don't know why, but it seems like dudes are typically drawn towards danger, or at least I am. So
yeah.
It's just I don't know. It's one of those things where like I'm watching like I don't know someone ride a bull like on TV, and my girlfriend's like that's crazy, but I'm just like man, I kind of want to know what that's like, So
okay,
crazy curiosity.
The craziest one I think, and I don't know. I mean, it's weird when Johnny Knoxville try to do a backflip on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Saw that?
Yeah, okay.
And it landed on his scrotum.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to pee out of
Like a cat
tube for I don't know how long. But I follow freestyle motocross too. It took years of people trying, professionals attempting that. They wouldn't even attempt it. And for him to go up there and try to do that without really any training was insane. There was no way he was going to ever land that. No way. He wasn't even a rope. So I'm surprised Travis was trying to let him do that. That was crazy, man. That was insane, that one.
Oh, yeah.
That was a disaster ready to happen.
Oh, yeah. I grew up just obsessed with Johnny Knoxville. So I remember that Evil Knievel special and him doing that. Like, I remember when that special came on as a teenager. I loved it. He's like a hero of mine.
Oh, yeah. We like him a lot. Yeah, he's crazy.
All them guys are good.
Bam Margera.
Steve-O.
Bam, you like Bam too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm huge marks of all the Jackass dudes. So, yeah, anybody associated with that, I was just like a massive fan of all that kind of stuff growing up.
Well, that's good. Well, now you're one of the main guys. You're doing the POR stunt stuff. and you're getting, you're getting out there. It's good.
Yeah, man, it's starting to feels like things are starting to have a little bit of traction and stuff. So I'm really excited. And so I got a bunch of cool stuff planned for this year, and I'm really just really looking forward to doing a bunch of crazy stuff.
I like to do. He gets a kick out of me. I'll do little pranks too in public, just goofy stuff, just to entertain myself. He does. I do. He does. Like, I'll give you one. I might go through an airport, right, with a long piece of toilet paper. I'll be with my buddy. We might have gone to a tournament or something. And I'll take a long piece of toilet paper and tuck it into my pants and have it hanging like 3 feet long, right?
Yeah.
and walk through the airport, like, and people are like looking at me, and I'm like, what did they say? And I'm like walking through, and he's getting a kick out of it because people are like looking, but nobody's saying anything to me. You know what I mean?
I love that. Yeah.
Oh, you do that. Yeah, do that. Yeah. Hey, we need to get him. We need to get him around me, because I'll do insane things.
Funny stuff.
Like,
he stays in character.
Oh, I can stay in character. Like, here's one. I'll walk into a place and just start looking up. Like, oh my God. Like, I'll go into a Walmart. There's like a lady sitting there in the front door.
Yeah.
I never do anything to hurt anybody or nothing. And I'll be like, and then they're looking up, and then someone will be like, what are you looking at? Oh, I'm just looking at the light fixtures or something. Or I'll be looking up. They'll be like, they'll either look up, say something, ignore it, or you're going to get some reaction, and I'll just walk away with
it. Confusion's always the best, like always the funniest to me. Confusing is always the best prank.
He does all
what other stuff do I do?
I like those.
This little plastic hand that I found, a small plastic hand, and I put it like that, and I'm like trying to use it, like hand people money with it. I went to we have a Sam's Club thing where you have to hand your receipt to somebody, right? So I had this little plastic hand, and it was like a toy hand from a doll. Held it in, rolled up the receipt, handed it to the guy. He takes it out of the hand, opens it up, scans it, rolls it back up, and puts it in the little hand.
There you go.
And then I go like this. Then I go like that. I'm like, thanks. He goes, you got me. I just got a girl. I got a waitress.
Did you?
Today. Yeah.
The thing that amazes me about Mike is he stays in character. I don't know how he stays in character. I if my life depended on it, I would.
Oh yeah. I'm a professional liar. Yeah, I can. Yeah. Or what else? I'll say. Here's one. Can you tell me where the bathroom is? They're like right over there. I'm like, thank you. So I come out and I'm like, yeah. Can you tell me where I'm looking for the bathroom. She goes, it was right there. I'm like, no, there was no shower or bath facilities in there. And they're like, I do the literal jokes, like literally, like, all right, come back soon. So I open the door, turn around, and stick my head in. I'm like, is this soon enough? I can wait outside.
Like it.
I just whatever. Oh yeah. Try this one. The service was great, but I don't tip waitresses. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, because every time I tip a waitress, they fall down, and I don't want to hurt you.
Oh man.
I could be in character and do crazy stuff. He gets a kick out of it.
Yeah, he does all
His wife doesn't think it's me.
What do you? Any advice you would give to someone starting up, stunt crew?
A stunt crew? Don't. Don't. No.
Obamacare.
Yeah. I don't know. Just be smart about it. Take calculated risks. Don't do anything that would get yourself killed. Know what have safety for your stunts. Like, even if your stunt's designed to fail, don't get permanently disfigured for a laugh or whatever. It's cool to do dangerous things or get be stupid or whatever, put yourself in harm's way. But just calculated risks. Make sure you take the proper safety precautions as you run full force at danger. So I guess that also just don't do it.
Yeah, and the Obama Platinum Plan.
Yeah, just
zero deductible. Yeah. The I'll tell you a crazy stunt. I'll tell you this. One of the craziest stunts I've ever seen was done at the Super Bowl in Arizona. Did you see that guy climb up that building?
I don't think so.
He climbed a skyscraper that was about, I don't know how, did you see it?
No.
Look at it. And he had to put his hands and feet like spread and climb up it like that.
Oh, I think I see.
He had, no margin of error.
Oh.
Dang.
He gets to the top and they arrest him. But I'm like, oh my God, that guy, all it would take is a little anything and he's dead.
He's done.
He made it. You know what I'm saying?
Just like, he didn't even have anything attached. So
no. Look it up. It was unbelievable. I'm like, wow. You've seen it?
I've seen the clip.
I'm trying to see the whole clip. We're talking like a 500-story. A 500-foot building. It was a high rise.
Jeez,
they were waiting for him.
Yeah. Damn.
It's like that free climber.
If anyone's watching this, do you have any merch for sale?
I do. I have a shirt on Deathmatch Worldwide.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that.
Deathmatch.
I saw that. Yeah. It's got like caricature or something on there.
Yeah, so it's just a nice. It's kind of looks like a kind of a B horror movie poster, and I'm holding the burning camper from when I got blown up in at POR.
Oh, nice. Well, we're gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, I saw. I was there.
If anyone wants like autographed pictures, do you sell them?
I do. Yeah, I don't have anything up on any sites, but like I bring pictures with me to shows and everything. So if you see me at a show, I more likely have it. And so if you see me at a show, come say hi. I'm a very approachable person. So
absolutely awesome. And they can reach you on your social media pages if they want anything signed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, feel free.
Awesome.
Hit me up.
One more thing. Okay, Kind Punk. That's a band, or that's a what is it?
So Kind Punk is my film company. So that's my just small production company where I do music videos and everything out of. So that's just my brand. Oh, yeah.
But the Cherry Bombs girls, that's a group that was they do antics. Is that a
yeah?
band?
So the Cherry Bombs, they are like a kind of like a dance group that does like fire breathing and stunts and just aerial silks and pole and like just like a different just variety act of stuff. So, and I've been working with them for several years now. I do a show called Girl Gang, which is a documentary series. So if you want to see some other documentary stuff that I do, there's a series called Girl Gang where I just kind of follow around the Cherry Bombs as they go about their lives and career. And they're really rad. I love the Cherry Bombs. They're like some of my favorite people to work with, some of my best friends. Really rad people. Alicia, she's like head like the leader of the Cherry Bombs. She's also in the Judas music video for Fozzy. She has like red hair and she's in the back holding the light. So I met Cherry Bombs through the Judas music video.
Oh, okay. And okay, so you work with them. Yeah, they would probably do good at a tattoo convention where they have they have like sideshows and things like that.
Yeah,
I'm like,
sure.
Yeah, I'm like you. I like to go to things that I'll see out of the ordinary things. And everybody I know, and I can't get anybody to go. I go a lot of times. I go alone. I got a couple friends, but they're like, "Why are you going there?" I'm like, "Why not? I'm gonna stay home."
Yeah, I like just seeing weird stuff. So.
Oh yeah, well, the suspension. I know you're into suspensions.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff is so fascinating. Like any kind of like weird like freak show, side show kind of weird stuff. Like super fascinated by. But you do see that a lot, like we were saying, like tattoo conventions. So you see like people swallowing swords and stuff like that. That stuff is so cool to me.
Yeah, I know. I think I made I made a lady mad. She was I was getting too much into the behind the secrets about blowing fire. I'm like, well, how do you do it? And she's like, oh, you got trained. I'm like, yeah, but what do you put it like? Do you like And she was getting, I was asking too many questions, and I think she got annoyed. She goes, "You just can't do it." I said, "What if I tried?" I'm like, well, it looks pretty easy. What do you do? What if I put it in my mouth and like spit it out? She's gonna burn your mouth. I'm like, well, shit, you could swallow it and burn your whole throat. I've seen people do that. I'm like, well, how do you do it? She goes, I'm just, I don't know. She just like I'm asking David Copperfield, how did he make that thing disappear? I was annoying her. I'm sorry. I don't know. I was just curious. Yeah, I got heat from trying to find out about date. Oh, here's a question. I got to ask you this. Now, look, and you and J.J. Allen and Knoxville and all those guys, I don't know how you do this. The ball kicks in the baseball bat to the balls. How do you do it? I mean, I don't know. How can you guys take those shots?
I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's just kind of funny. So we just have been doing that, our whole lives. And like, I don't know, at the burning baseball bat, like I sprayed like the little spray on my pants to make sure it did ignite when it got hit.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you can see. So yeah, and it went well. We had a little bucket, and luckily nothing, nothing important got burned or anything. If anything, it was nice and tied up and clean. So, save money. Didn't have to go get anything waxed or whatnot. So it's a little bit more affordable that way. But I think, yeah, everything was went smoothly with that as far as getting hit in the nuts with the burning baseball bat goes.
But the POR guys take full-fledged kicks right to the nuts.
Yeah, they're doing it like at such a different level. Like it's insane. There's one dude, like I'm sure JJ probably told you guys this. I forget his name, but he like tied his nutsack to and ripped his nuts like out of his sack.
I know.
Oh man.
Yeah. That guy. Yeah, I saw that video. I don't know if it's still on the internet, but yeah.
Oh.
There was no way that was going to land. I don't like. There's nothing like the string was the rope was 3 feet and he jumped off something 5 feet. He wasn't going to just hang like a nutsack thing.
Yeah, nothing good was coming from that. So I don't know what I thought was going to happen, but yeah, I don't know. We just all love just doing dangerous things. That's just how we've been since we were little kids, and we just never. I think it's just kind of part of our personalities. So we just moved that energy into wrestling.
Yeah, but that scrotum groin region is on another level. There, it's like I mean, I put it up like, let me poke you in the eye. Like, no, absolutely not.
Oh yeah, I don't do that stuff much anymore, but JJ still he's doing that all the time. Every time I've wrestled JJ, I'm, mutilating his genitals somehow.
He's wild, man. He's hard. All those dudes, all those POR guys.
Yeah, much respect for all that.
He's just like, hey man, can you throw this weed whacker at my dick? And I'm like, if that's what you want, man. All right, yeah.
You don't do the fireworks gimmick, do you?
Well, I've been shot by fireworks and stuff but yeah, I don't I played with them a little bit, but I didn't play with them that much, but I've definitely been hit by them and everything.
Yeah. At a backyard wrestling show, GCW backyard, JJ Allen was in a travel trailer, and they had mortars going off in there, like bombs. And I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he stayed in there.
Yeah.
You saw that video?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So that's kind of because that's kind of like what happened with the camper, and that full match is up on my YouTube if anyone wants to go watch it. But so I was in an RV, and then they threw mortars in and it exploded, and luckily none of them hit me or anything. But it's just JJ plays with a lot of explosives. We also later in that same tournament, I attacked him in the finals, and me and Kyler Vick, another stuntman, tied a mortar to his leg and exploded JJ to keep him out until the end of the tournament. So
that tournament was crazy, man. Guys going off roofs. Matt Justice.
Yeah, it just took me there in Timberville.
Well, are you going to come to more Timberville shows?
Yeah, I'd love to anytime. Like it's like just a good place to hang out. So yeah, I definitely want to do POR more because it's just crazy. It's just the craziest shit. And I love being a part of it. So yeah, I definitely want to go
Right,
out
well,
there.
I think they're starting up in May.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm definitely planning on coming. So we've talked about some stuff. So yeah, I plan on making my rounds again. So yeah, we'll hang out when when it happens.
We're going. Yeah,
We'll be there.
we'll be there. I'll be there.
Thank you.
It's going to be fun. How far is that from you, from where you live? You're northern Georgia. It's not too bad. Like 7 hours, 6. 7
Yeah,
hours.
probably about maybe like 8 with stops. So it's like it's not too terrible. Like so it's not too bad. And I've made that drive a few times, and it's not a bad drive.
Yeah, you listen to podcasts and stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll do it.
I always like bringing a bunch of friends with me and stuff. So the 8 hours go by because POR is the kind of like show you want to bring like people who have no connection to stunts or like wrestling to like for that Vice shoot when we were doing all the stunts for Vice in that deathmatch tournament. Like we like. I brought 2 friends of mine who have they're not into like deathmatch wrestling. They're like wrestling fans, but not like this kind of thing. And just watching their reactions, like, just for instance, like someone got hit by a car as one of the stunts, like just got hit by a car, and then watching my friend's reaction, seeing a human being purposely get hit by a car is just priceless. So if you're going to come out to a POR show, bring friends that you would love watching them freak out because just barbaric anarchy happens. It's the craziest time. Bring your buddies.
Right. So people like you and I and Justin, we've been to like gathering juggalos stuff. So you say like the average person, like I've seen, I don't know how many people set on fire, 20, and like, have you ever seen anybody set on fire? Like, absolutely not. No. Okay. Have you ever seen a guy beat up a girl till she's bloody? No. Are you insane? And like, what about a guy getting hit by a car right in front of you, 5 feet away from you? No, can't say I did. Like, you can just go down the whole gamut of things that would blow the average person's mind. I mean, basically, if you go to one POR stunt show, wrestling, or even a deathmatch tournament, you'll see more bloody people in one day than the average person sees in a life. Like, does your mom ever seen a guy covered with blood?
Probably not.
Right, exactly. Well, in one day, she'll see 10 guys.
Yeah.
A guy thrown off of a balcony or a house, you'll never see it. Guaranteed here.
Yeah, POR.
Yeah, POR. It's like its own. It has its underground cult following, but yeah, hopefully after the second part of this Vice doc comes out, people will know about POR more and how.
Oh, they will. No, they will. They will. The friends that you brought, what was their reaction?
Oh, it was great. Because like when I wasn't doing like participating, I would be like filming, so I just whipped the camera over to the reaction. So it was a lot of just jaws dropped on the floor, just like they can't believe what they're seeing. It's just because the stuff we did there, it's just even for me, which I have a pretty crazy tolerance for wild stuff, that day was nuts. So like so they were just freaked out. Another thing, I don't want to give away too much, but we had like an EMT come out, and after the first stunt, the EMT got too freaked out and quit, and they were like, I don't want to be here, and so they left.
Like a substitute teacher at school. Yeah. Like she quit.
And then we had another EMT, and she was like a cool mom, and she was like, this is fun. Can I film this? And we're like, yeah.
Right. Oh, they had they usually have that girl. There's a girl in a little tent, and she puts a little medic sign up, and she dresses as a sexy nurse type of girl. I don't know what her name is. She's friends with JJ.
Oh yeah.
like a little. It says medic tent, and it's like a very low key. Yeah.
I love it. It's everything. It's if you enjoyed the Guy and the Juggalos, you will also love POR wrestling. Same crowd.
In my first one.
Yeah, you're gonna like it. You're gonna like it. We'll get there early. Mess around. They let you, drink beer, do whatever you want. Yeah. Well, if that Vice show comes out, it's going to increase attendance.
Oh, yeah.
When the CZW Vice documentary came out, did you ever see that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, I got interviewed on that. They actually interviewed me, and I talked for like maybe a minute about it's an art form.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So the next year, when they put that documentary out, the next year attendance was at an all-time high.
Yeah.
People definitely learned about it and be like, "Hey, let's go to this."
Yeah.
And then it went down a little bit, but it did have an effect.
Yeah, no, for sure it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine probably more people at the next POR after this Vice thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm excited.
You have any questions for us?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Aren't you questioning our friend?
Yeah. Yeah. Who's your friend you got there?
Gorby. We named him after. We did Alex Nabiev. Alex Nabiev, the Russian crazy guy.
Yes. Oh yeah, I know about him.
We interviewed him.
Did you really? Oh, I gotta go watch that.
No, watch it. We had Madman Pondo call in and talk to him, and we had Toby Klein called in, and we did a 3-way call.
No way. That's awesome.
Oh, it was highly ranked. I mean, people enjoyed it.
Yeah.
He was in Russia talking about wrestling and how he wants to come to America and all that.
Oh my God,
So,
that guy's
we
great.
named him Gorby after Mikhail Gorbachev,
Yeah. Oh my
the
God.
president that ended communism back in the day. So we call him Gorby.
Nice.
He's our mascot.
Not everyone.
He took a gusset plate one time.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, he
That's
didn't
really
want.
pain.
He chickened out. He wouldn't let me do it to him. So Gorby took it. Froze up there. What's going on?
There you go. Good on you, Corey.
I think it's a little.
Oh, we're running long. Oh, we're back in. Yeah. So Gorby took a gusset.
Yeah.
Okay. He won't take fire or a gusset plate. I don't know. He's chicken. All right. Yeah. We're
Dude.
pretty good.
Hey, at POR, man. When next time when we see each other in person, I'll set you on fire. It'll be good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll take a flaming light tube. I promise you.
He wants it. He
Hey,
wants it.
go, brother. What's gonna happen?
Absolutely.
I'm your guy.
Well, I subscribed to your channel today. He's got a lot of it. He's got
A lot of good
good
stuff.
group. Yeah.
No,
So it's
absolutely.
really good. Documentaries.
Yeah, we're gonna check out your channel. Anything else you'd like the people watching to check out?
Yeah, I mean, just a lot of my stuff you can kind of find on YouTube. Like it's check out I'm Too Old for This Shit, Heavy Metal Fairy Tale, that documentary. Check out the Girl Gang series. You'll see a big playlist of my music videos and matches on my YouTube. Follow me on all the medias. So I'm Nathan Mowery on all the things. So
Yeah, he's got a lot of clips. He's like a PR guy.
Absolutely. We're definitely all going to check him out. Everyone watching this, please check it out. I want to thank Deathmatch Title for All again on Instagram. Follow him. He said, he's the one who was like, hey, definitely get him on. He's a big fan of you. Thanks again for taking the time to talk with us.
man, absolutely, it's fun. I had a blast.
Oh, good. If you have any people that want a video, just send them our way. You know what I mean? We're easy. We're easy going.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good to know. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Very good.
Killbilly Nathan, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank y'all.
Appreciate it. Thanks for your time, buddy.
Thank you.
Make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill.
You cannot stop me, I'ma make it to the top spicy. Call a covenant, not cocky. You cannot break me, this world's mine for the taking. Got an inch, man, I'm making. I'll keep my head down and grind and be patient. I'll take a stab at the top and the sailing. They can all try, but you cannot contain it. Cause I see the things that I want and I take on my goals. Push myself to the brink, no limit. Do what it takes to be free, committed. I'm a little obsessed with things, I'll admit it. But that's what it takes to get a freedom ticket. Got a killer instinct and it's just the beginning. Breaking down walls and the hurt start thinning. And the more you push it, the fast start trimming. Till you're the only one standing up straight, winning all.
No, we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill. To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to